turns anything.
You're good.
Hi everyone! Today we're in a different location. So today we're at the crafting table, I guess, or the sewing table, because it's really difficult to do this on the kitchen counter and then give you a really good bird's eye view. But today I'm going to teach you how to make these adorable fabric stuffed pumpkins. I've already shown my private group how to do this, so I thought I would bring this to the public group and show the public group as well. You can make these for Halloween, you can make them through fall, you can do whatever types of materials you want, like as far as colors go, like you can stay with the fall theme, you can stay with a Halloween themed fabric, or you can go like farmhouse, you can do the black and white. Why do you not like my micro pumpkin? He always takes the micro pumpkin away. So I'm going to teach you how to make the larger of the three. And the reason why we're going to go larger of the three is this one's probably going to cause you the most challenge. Everything else is really easy. It's like when you go big, trying to get your fabric needle to go all the way through. This requires you to manipulate and maneuver it a little bit different. So I thought if I taught you how to do it on the most difficult one, and I wouldn't go any larger than this, but you can. Once you get that down pat, then the rest of them are super easy. So remember, this is a public group, so feel free to like and share, especially if you want to find this tutorial to do later with family members. I know I'm going to be teaching both my daughters how to make these because they want to do their own fabric pumpkins for their homes. So what else did I miss? YouTube people. So if you're catching this, you're probably catching, this is a Friday, August the 14th on Facebook. So you're catching this as a replay, but please feel free to address any questions you have below. All the information that you'll need will be in the description box for YouTube people because you can't really see the comments. But feel free to leave questions and I do check those and we'll answer them.
If you're new, let us know what city and state you're from.
Thank you. Yeah, if you're new, let us know. We'll try to get you hooked up with somebody, hopefully, in your crafting neighborhood. And I just thought that we would take a break from all the wreath making and just make something fun. These are going to be great if you're doing craft fairs because these are takeaways that are easy to make and they're easy to pack. And then you can put them in whatever trios you want. You can embellish and decorate them a ton of different ways. I mean, there's people online that are selling the little pumpkin stems. If you want authentic pumpkin stems, they're a little bit pricey though. They're about $3 to $4 a pop. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about buying them. Other than that, I'm going to teach you how to do the low cost alternative. So let me know what's going on.
Yeah, so we've got Sharon, Jennifer, Irene, Shirley, Gail, Lynn, Rose Orange, which is, I can't remember her name.
That's okay.
And then Trixie, Sherry, Mary Scott, Ginger, Sandy. Seems like there's some new gals on. Tiffany, Linda, Joyce, Maggie, Yuli, Bob, Peggy, Nancy, Teresa, Wilhelmine, and a bunch of other gals.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me. The fabric that I'd recommend that you use is 100% cotton fabric. You can pre-wash it ahead of time. I generally don't because you're not going to throw these in the machine. You know, you're not going to toss them in the wash to wash them. These are just going to be those home decor items that you're going to take out and you put out. But I'm going to also give you some tips on some innovative ways that you can take these to the next level, as it was. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is figure out what size pumpkin. So the easiest measurement to remember is whatever height your material is, you're going to double the width. So in this case, we're going to make the bigger pumpkin. So this is 10 inches high and it's 20 inches wide. So that will yield you a pumpkin this size. If you want to go smaller, you could go 9 by 18. You can go, I think this one is 8 by 16. And you can just kind of play around until you find a size that you like that kind of fits in with what you want to make and sell. So Any questions before we begin on the fabric? Let me go over all the materials you'll need. So you'll need fabric cut to whatever dimensions you're going to need. I prefer to use yarn. Some people use embroidery thread, but if you want to keep your costs down, the yarn works really well over embroidery thread. I prefer to, when I'm doing the hand stitching, I like to use dental floss because it holds up a lot more when you're doing your tight stitches and pulls. The cotton thread, even if I double and triple it, it seems to snap. Maybe I'm just pulling too hard. You will need a yarn needle, which looks like this. So it's just a little plastic needle with a very large eye in it. Keep in mind that they are plastic, so if you push too hard, they will snap. But I believe when you buy them, you get 3 or 4 in a package. So I think I have 2 left out of my 4. So that tells you the lessons I've learned. So dental floss, yarn, the material, and then whatever you want to embellish them with. There's all different kinds of ribbon out there right now. We just went over to Joann's, and Joann's actually has really cute Halloween ribbon that is wired. So I got a couple of those. You can use leaves, and you'll need felt to do the stems. So I just use felt to make my stems. And then to stuff them, I prefer to use, can you see this in there?
Yep.
This is polyfill, and this is the soft polyfill. So keep in mind there's 2 types. There's one that's called a dry fiberfill, and there's one that's just regular, like the polyester fiberfill. The dry stuff is very thick. It's not as plush, like when you go to squish your pumpkin, it's more like, it's gonna help things stay in their shape. So like if you were making teddy bears or dolls, you would probably use the dry fiberfill instead of the squishy ones. So we got squishy ones.
So let's see here. Little maintenance for you. Let's see. I think it's Denise. Click on the top right 3 dots. Once you click on that, you'll see a drop down, and you'll just click on turn off captions. Okay. For whatever reason you've got it on.
Okay. Sometimes I think Fiber or Facebook is
sometimes
making it defaults to that because they're doing it for people that may not have that ability. Right. So they prefer to have it on. Any other questions before I start?
That's it.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, like I said, whatever it is high, double that for the width. I've already cut 2 pieces, so we're going to make this fun Haunted Mansion fabric. So I cut 2 of them. So we're just going to take this, and this is the only part I'm doing on a machine, just because for time. But there's a lot of people who ask, can you do this by hand? Absolutely. But if you have a machine, you can cheat and go. And all you're going to do is I'm just going to sew, what is it, like a half inch, quarter inch seam,
yep.
Up and down both sides to stitch this close. So I'm going to do that really quick. This is the only time you'll ever see me sew a straight line in my whole life. Steve's the better sewer out of the family. So I'm just going to do this pretty quick. And I'm just going to do 1 more, and then I flip it around to do, I prefer to do 2.
Or you could just
reverse it.
Or you could just lock at the seams on both sides.
I just prefer to do it this way. And that's the only part I'll need my scissors for the entire duration of this tutorial. So snip those off, turn my light off, make sure not to knock this over, so I have plenty of room to work. Okay, so once we have done that...
Yep, this is just standard cotton fabric, Denise.
100% cotton fabric. Matter of fact, Joann's has a really good sale going on. Their fabric, I think a lot of their Halloween fabric is like $1 off per yard.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you get.
And she bought a bunch of different little fabrics to look at and stuff, so.
Okay, so let me thread my needle with my dental floss, and then we're going to hand stitch the bottom. So like I said, I just prefer using dental floss because I pull pretty hard, and this is designed not to break. So I'll go ahead and put a couple knots in here to make sure it doesn't pull through. I think when I did it on my private group, the seam popped open on the top, and that was okay. Real, because what happens when that happens in real life? You just start over and you make your little closer opening again. So while this is still, I got to keep in mind that this is my top. Looking at the orientation of my fabric, this does have a top and a bottom if I want to keep my faces straight. So I'm going to sew the bottom closed, so it's going to be down here. I'm just going to flip it upside down because it's easier. And
Carrie, you could use fishing line, but believe it or not, dental floss works great.
dollar store. You get a 2-pack. So
Because it's not folded all the way in half.
I don't want it folded all the way in half.
Oh, okay.
I only do it once. So I started the seam just because it's easy for me to remember where I started. And I'm coming down 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to hand stitch. I guess people call it what, a basting stitch? A running stitch?
Running stitch, yeah. Kathy, yeah, 1 yard packets at Walmart could work, or you could buy the pack of the, what do they call them, the fat quarters, because they're 18 by 22, so you can make that work.
Depends on what, yeah, it depends on your fabric.
Yep.
What direction, how big were you looking to make them? So 18 by 22. Yeah. You could get a 10 by 20.
You could get, right, you can get one 10 by 20 or two 9 by 18s out of that.
So I just play with it a little bit. Like Steve and I, when we did them, we just kept going, okay, let's go up 1 more inch and then go, double that, and let's see how big that keeps going. So I'm pretty meticulous on this because this depends on whether or not your stuffing will hold. So don't make your stitches too fat and don't make them too small, because you need to be able to get that plastic yarn needle to go all the way through.
I guess you want, 1/4 inch gap or right around there.
I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I try to be, the first one I did, I noticed that if I went a little too fat, some of my material would kind of gather, and then that would kind of fold under the little, like when you pull it and stuff it, you can see the edges of your fabric. So just hang with me. I'm trying to do this so you can see.
I can see.
Okay. So they're super fun to make. Like I said, these are going to be great at craft fairs because you can throw them in a basket, let people pick out whichever 3 they want, or you can sell them in pairs. There's so many people who do this so much better than I do. I am not a professional sewer by any means. There's, like, Steve can whip this through pretty quick. And I just keep going, and I'm almost to the other side. I guess there is something on a sewing machine too that allows you to do this. We talked to Steve's mom. She tried to walk us through it, and when we did it, by the time we tried to pull the thread just snapped. So I was like, I'm going back to the hand stitching with the dental floss method. Couple more stitches. And I should.
Hi everyone, just joining.
I am right where I'm at. So now all you're going to do, get rid of my
This is
yarn.
a Friday live too, so feel free to like and share.
Get rid of that piece. So now you're going to gently close the opening. This is where you kind of want everything even. This is where I was saying if you don't do it well enough, you can gather bits of your fabric around the other side. So you just want it nice and even. Just like that. So it makes it like pretty flower, I guess. And then if you want, you can kind of sew through a couple of the layers just to kind of secure that, but do not go back and forth across here because then it poses such a challenge for you to try to work your yarn needle through to make the ribs. So I'm just going to do this one, and then I'm going to tie this off. There we go. As soon as I can get it back up and over. I see you. I can tell when you're trying to help me.
I'm not doing it.
No, I mean like like you're not physically over here helping me. I can tell.
Mentally, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, no. I can tell you're like, just do it like this. Okay. So I'm going to leave that one there. And then when you open this to the other side, this is where I'm saying you want to make sure that you don't have any folds of fabric coming through the other side. Because this could either be the bottom or top of your pumpkin. In this case, based on the way my fabric is, this is my bottom. So it's going to make for a really nice snug bottom. So you're going to pull the whole thing up. So you have your little bag. And then we need to, this is not going to be long enough. Now we have to do the same basting stitch or running stitch along the top so that once we stuff it, we've already got the stitch done. So it's helpful to do the stitch first and then stuff it. So we're going to do this exact same way. I'm going to start on my seam. And I'm going to do it about a quarter from the top. Same thing. Don't make your stitches overly big in an effort to hurry up and get through it. I guess it would help if I actually put knots at the end of my thread so I didn't pull it all the way through. I caught it before I got that far. Do you guys have any questions up to this point?
There was a jelly bean craft that just said, are you going to post this live? Yes, we'll post this after she's done.
Absolutely. So if you want this and it's easier to find, because, you know, I continue to post on my Facebook page throughout the day, just share it to your page.
Yep.
And then it's easier for you to find. Okay. Now I can continue to pull this. That would just have been a big, epic failure. So, ideas for what you could use these for besides pumpkins, things you could embellish them with, right? Mm-hmm. Some people have taken twigs. So if you have twigs off of your tree, you could cut some little stems off your tree and have wood stems. Yep. I just like them to have a slight bend to them. Trying to think of what else you could stuff them with besides polyfill. The one thing that we had talked about in the private group was back in the day, and this is dating myself, back in the early 80s when potpourri was all the rage, you could actually put potpourri in these, like cinnamon or pumpkin spice. Or you can scent them with essential oils. Just make sure that you let people know, you know, if you're scenting them, that these are scented. But that would make for something really super cute. The first one went through without a hitch, so let's see if this one will go through the same way. It only takes, once you get on a roll, it only takes a few minutes to get everything done. And usually Steve and I will have all of our fabric cut. And then we just start sewing them closed. And start hand stitching everything. And then we just stuff a ton of them. Any questions? Everybody's so quiet.
Joyce asked, did you and Steve figure out how to do this, or did you see it somewhere?
I saw somebody selling them and I was like, oh, that would be so much fun to learn how to make. So I went through a whole bunch of YouTube videos, just like everybody else, and I found a handful of people that were doing them. So I just kind of took a little bit from everybody what I liked, and then it was just a matter of experimentation and see which method works the best.
Jan, that's a great idea. Yes, you could put rice in the bottom or beans in the bottom.
Yes.
To weigh it. So yeah, you definitely could.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to leave my needle and thread there just because I still want to be able to open this to stuff it. And then I'm going to take out all my polyfill. The nice thing that the dry has over the super soft is when you take the dry and you put it in the bottom and you pack it, it stays there. This stuff, not so much. So I just start packing the bottom. A lot of times we just sit here and pull it apart so it's not all like, I don't want to feel bumps in there. So you just kind of go around the bottom and make sure that there's enough on the bottom. And you want them stuffed pretty well. It just depends on like what you like on your pumpkins. If you like them full with no wrinkles in the fabric, then make them full.
Yep.
If you don't want them as full and you like that little puckered look, then don't stuff them as full.
There's so many good ideas. I was talking about, Barbara said you could use cinnamon sticks for stems.
Yes, we had talked about that too.
Yep.
I forgot that one.
Vicky said cable knit sweaters make beautiful pumpkins.
Yes, they do. I heard you can just take the sleeves and just kind of do the whole same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can see I'm just kind of going all the way around and looking and make sure that, like, as I put my hands in there, that it's smooth, from the bottom to the top. It does take a lot of fiberfill. I'm trying to think of like how much.
Joyce said it's nice that you both work together on these. Yeah, we've both done a bunch of these.
Yeah, Steve just took a bunch up to your mom up in Havasu.
A couple of them. Yeah.
For fall. But absolutely. So you can see I'm packing my sides, kind of working my way around. I'm almost done stuffing it. So if you're not sure, what you can do is go ahead and start pulling. Pull your stitches in and then look and go, does that look about as full as you want? Do you want it to go a little bit full? That's going to be a personal preference. That's up to you. I think I kind of like mine like that. Or do you think we should go bigger? What do you think?
I think we should go bigger. I got kicked out.
You always get kicked out. So you think I should add more?
I think you're good, right? I think you're probably good there.
That's what I asked you. And you were like, no, go bigger. Okay. So, same thing when you go to pull it. Just make sure that you've got an even pull all the way through. And then now what you're going to want to do, same thing, you don't want to stitch the opening closed because we need to be able to get that yarn needle through. So I'm just going through a couple stitches on the side. And then I'll go through a couple more. I usually do it 2 or 3 times. Just kind of going around the outside. One more and that should do it. And then I'll go ahead and tie this off.
There we go.
What? You're back?
In. Yeah, they kicked me out. Facebook kicked me out. Barbara said I was working on fabric pumpkins today. Awesome.
Were you really?
Is that using the wire pumpkin frame from Dollar Tree? No.
This?
Yeah, no.
No. We've done this last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking for some new ideas for those. I think I've got a couple ideas, so I have to just kind of play with it. So I'm just really stitching those closed because, like I said, this was my big aha moment last time. Remember, it popped open?
Yeah.
And it keeps going around the bottom. Let me just go one through here.
Barbara, I don't know if she did or not. She can look. If you posted it in the public group, then she could look at it. She asked if you saw what she did in the center of her sunflower wreath. Barbara Rosecans.
The digital, was it a thermometer kind of thing?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking you to ask her that.
Oh, Barbara, was it the digital thermometer thing?
See, so this is what your pumpkin looks like before you begin to put the little ribs in it. And so now you kind of want to pick either your yarn or your thread that works the best. Obviously, we're going to use black, and I just pull out a handful of it. I bought the cheapest yarn that Joanne's had.
Oh, she said yes. So.
Yeah, I saw it. I thought I commented. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put this in. Add a knot the exact same way. And I'm trying to think. I probably have like maybe 40 inches of yarn pulled through here. I don't think I even need that much, but like I said, I'd rather have more than enough than not enough.
And if you guys have a good long plastic knitting needle, that works perfect for this.
Knitting needle?
Yeah, like the one you're going to use, or crochet.
This is a yarn needle.
A yarn needle, okay. Excuse me, I don't know all the terminology.
Okay, so once you have this, you kind of want to keep your end kind of close by. And what you're going to do, see what I'm saying is why this one is such a challenge, is look at how thick this is. So what I'm going to be doing is putting my yarn needle through here and getting it to pop out here. So when you do that, you need to have some space, and you need to be able to not have your pumpkin packed so tight. See, I'm trying to feel for my needle. It's almost there. There we go. And you're going to pull this through. And you don't want to pull all of it. So you kind of want to hold some of this back because it has a tendency of going all the way through. So just kind of hold this like between your fingers. You're going to start at the bottom, and then you're going to go back through. And I try to do it where my seam is first. Here's my seam right here. So I'm going to do the same thing, go back through the middle. And bring your yarn needle all the way through, holding this, going along my seam right here. And this is where you pull. So this is where you get that, okay, the ribs along your pumpkin. And I still have my piece here, so I'm not letting go of it yet. So, because it keeps good tension on everything. And then you decide how big you want them to be. I think on the bigger ones, I think we go 6. Yeah. So it's going to be entirely up to you.
You can make them with 5 or 6.
And it gets easier by the time you're almost finished to find your needle back in here. There you go. So holding here. Pushing. You can go ahead and give it a good pull. And then come back up. And then go back. That's all you're going to do about 5 different times. There we go. Holding this. I'm just trying to keep good tension on each of my little gathers. Go up, go back through. There we go. It starts to get a little easier. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3,
make this
4.
look easy. Any questions, gals? It is fun, really. Once you get the first one down, you're like, okay, I got it. And the second, third one will be much easier.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Pull. And then we'll do this last one. Right back to the center. And see, like
Judy
I said,
I found 6-inch needles on Amazon. They're called weaving needles. Awesome.
these ones say that they're actually yarn needles. I'll show you the package. So here's where I ended. So I'm just going to put a couple knots down here.
You could just take the needle and slide it under one of the pieces of yarn already that's in the line.
You could. I'm so particular though about keeping tension on everything so the ribs don't give way.
Yeah. Lorinda said you're a great teacher.
Thank you.
Give her lots of likes, and if you think she's doing a great job.
Look at how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? It's like so cute. I mean, your kids and grandkids play with those.
Yep.
So,
and everyone's going to be a bit different depending upon how you stuff it. So if you look,
yep,
this
these are
one's
exactly
a little bit
the same.
Yeah, it's about the same. This one looks a little bit bigger, but depends on how you stuff it.
Well, this is dry Fiberfill,
Right.
and this is the squishier one. So now you have your choice of what you're going to adorn it with. So I made a couple of these already. So you can make, I prefer to do them out of felt. So it just depends on what size your pumpkin is. You can do orange, you can do brown. I'm going to probably do black, just in keeping with that's way too big, the square. So with my felt, I like this size because I think that that's pretty much right about the right size for this pumpkin.
About 2 inches.
I will, you're right on the money. Exactly 2 inches. So we'll do 2 inches on our felt. And I bought my felt. It's a big package of felt. You want to grab that felt and show them? It's like assorted, or you can just buy color. I think it was like $2.77 at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, here's their pack. It's just a 12 pack, and it comes with all these colors, and they are 12 by 18. So they come with green and yellow and beige.
Red, all pink, all different colors.
Yeah.
And you probably only need 2 inch by 8 inch, something like that.
So there's, this one's a little bit. I'll take them down a little bit and make it even.
And you guys can just play with the sizes that you guys want. Or like I said, if you want to buy your twigs or wood stems, whatever you want to do.
Right. So then you're going to take it, go, here, I'm going to give you this so you can go all the way around the light. Okay. So I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm actually going to use the end that's not perfect. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue along here. And this is where I'm going to start the rolling. And just fold that. That's why we do dual temperature glue gun.
Is it on cold or?
It's on low.
Oh, good.
I purposely put it on low. Yeah, I don't ever use my glue gun now without it being on low. And then you're just going to roll.
Terry said they look cute.
Yeah, my daughter said, you can make anything you want to teach your private group for Halloween, because I'll take all the Halloween stuff. Because we don't really decorate for Halloween. It's too short of a season for me.
Kathy, you can sell these in three of a kind if you want to do the 3 sizes and sell them. Or you could just sell them singularly. It's up to you.
I think I have mine listed as trios. So I have like small, medium, and large. And I think it's 4 inches, 5 inches, and 6 inches.
I think you did 30 for the whole set, right?
35.
35 for the whole
Yeah.
set? Okay.
So it just depends on how, what price your fabric is. Because fabric these days with all the, the COVID mask making, fabric has gone way up. And then Fiberfill, oh good Lord. The Fiberfill bag that I bought was the large one from Joann's. And this was $18.99.
But you have this 50% off.
Yeah, Joann's had their 50% off coupon. So I was like, oh, cool. $9. I'll take that all day. So just like that, you have a really super cute stem. I'm just letting that cure. And then, can you hand me a little piece of the fabric? The one that's already cut. Yeah, I'll take that one. I'll just take this. So you also have the option, Steve does this on the bottoms of his pumpkins, and I'll show you what he does. I'm just going to cut a perfect little square from here. It's about as perfect of a square as you can get. Try to cut all the raw edges off of here. So you can take a little square and you can kind of tuck this at the bottom and just glue that, and that will prevent, you know, if, I don't know, if the seam should pop, or
if you want to put rice in it, that would prevent the rice from spilling out the hole.
Exactly. So a lot of people do this in color-coded patches, so they might do this in black so that it's noticeable, but it's a cute little fix for the bottom. And then this guy, remember, he's just our little stem. We're going to go ahead and attach.
Joyce, when you're sewing your needle for your ribs, you just go through the holes, the top and bottom of the holes.
Yeah, that's why you can't sew them closed. If you sew them closed too much, you won't be able to get your needle to go all the way through. So I just put a dab of glue there, and I'm going to go ahead and attach my stem and let that cure. And then we'll add a cute bow to this one. But you can even take these, you can scent them with essential oils if people want, you know, essential oils added to the polyester Fiberfill. You know, if you want to make this one lavender scented and this one pumpkin spice and that one candy corn, it's entirely up to you. There you go. So, and you can put a little bend in it just by pushing on it. And then we're going to use the black and white gingham, because I think, we'll see if this one is wired. The other one I bought was, why do I always have to fasten these so tight? Yes, this is wired. How nice is this?
Believe it or not, this is just a standard $6 or $7, $8 glue gun from Hobby Lobby. It was dual temp, so it was nothing special.
Nope. It literally was, I think, $7.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a bow on this. So because this wire is this ribbon is wired.
Right.
So I'm gonna go about 3-inch tail. And I'm just going to hand tie this one. I think my wire's out here somewhere, isn't it? Or did I stick it back in my thing right there? My floral wire.
That's pretty thick.
I have the 26 gauge in there. Not that one. That one's 22. Not that one. There should be another one in there, kind of off to the side. Do you not? It should be in there, Steve.
Mine just looks down.
Towards the back. Yeah. What is it?
26.
Yep. So I'm just doing a super cute hand-tied bow. Here's my wire. We'll just attach this. I'm loving, so Joann's has these little, what is this? 5/8 inch. It's called Place in Time, is their Halloween line for this year. So all of their ribbon is wired. So this is perfect for what we're doing here to do a perfect hand-tied bow. So I just want to make sure that my loops don't fall apart. We could have added like ghosts. That would have been super cute with the Haunted Mansion fabric. The little ghosts. We can add that. It's really up to you. So this is going to work out nice because look, it's so pretty.
Yep.
Just like that.
And she said the sizes that you can use, and you guys can play with it once you start using them. The large one is 10 by 20 inch. Medium is 8 by 16.
No, the medium, this one, we think that this one was 9 by 18.
Oh, okay. So 10 by 20, 9 by 18, and 8 by 16.
Yeah, I think
But you can play with it. If you want to do a smaller one, try 7 by 14.
And it's all going to depend on how hard you pull your yarn to make your ribs through here. Because like Steve says, you know, this one, believe it or not, these are exactly the same size, but this polyfill is a dry polyfill. So it feels like almost like sawdust when you touch it. And then this one is more squishy. So isn't that cute?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're doing. So my kids want
leaves and curly cues.
Yeah, like there's all different kinds of things you can embellish them with. Here's like a yarn, what is it? A twine curly cue. Mm-hmm. We started to curly cue this one. Just like the little pumpkins have the little curls. You can kind of have that off there. It's entirely up to you. Yep. So this is something fun. You can sit here and just, you know, Steve can make 3, I can make 3, and just, you know, I think this was exactly 41 minutes. Aside from me cutting the fabric, you guys have seen it real time, and we didn't even really start right at 5, so maybe a half hour.
Yeah, if you really got to it, and once you had a couple of them down, yeah, I would say half hour, 40 minutes at the most.
Exactly. So do you guys have any questions at all about this? I think this one we had changed. We were going to, you wanted leaves, but I was like, no, it needs the little Halloween ribbon. So, yeah, just like that. So,
yep.
Any other questions you guys have that I can answer for you?
You can make them in fall, any colors you want.
Yeah, see, we did the fall set already. So you can have them ready for fall. You can have them ready for Halloween. Like I said, you can put potpourri in them and scent them, or add rice or corn to them if you want to have weighted bottoms. That's entirely up to you. But just remember, you need to make sure that you can pull that yarn needle through and be able to get it to come out the other side. So I'm not sure how well rice would work on that. Okay?
Yeah, that's it.
No other questions?
Nope.
Okay.
Short and simple.
Sweet, short, and simple. So this will be available for replay. You can expand the screen if you want.
That's right.
Okay. So this will be available for replay immediately following this. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. You can also email me or message me direct. This particular fabric, I think Joanne's carried it, but I actually bought it on eBay because one of my daughters wanted Haunted Mansion face mask for when she's working at the hospital during the holidays. So believe it or not, who knows? Let's hope that's not a thing this year. Holiday mask.
Yep.
I don't really see that.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great weekend. And I'll talk to private group on Sunday. And that's pretty much it. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.